Well, it's that time of year again where people love to give other people viruses. And as you can tell, someone has given me a flu-like virus. So, I'll give you my remedy. Linden leaves are optional. They're pretty hard to find, but it makes it taste good. That's why I put them in there. It has some special types of sugars in the leaves. Rosemary is supposed to be for pain relief. And I'm going to be honest with you. It only works on your mind in paper because I have never experienced the benefits of rosemary's pain relief. There's been a lot of research on it. I've read all of the white papers, the websites, etc., etc. So I just throw it in there just for the hell of it, even though I'm pretty sure it's placebo. This I know for a fact works. If you have a flu or an upper respiratory infection, this will cure it, and it works very well. You can take a flu that would normally have run its course for an entire week, or even 2 weeks sometimes, and it will shorten it to 2 or 3 days. How do I know this works? Because this is also the same thing that's in a particular drug that is marketed as an antiviral for flu. They take this stuff and they extract out the component and they purify it. So, yeah, you can avoid the horrible licorice taste. I'm just telling you that because, for a normal, average street person to get a prescription from a doctor, it costs you a minimum of $120 for a visit. So, cloves. Now, I don't really like the taste of cloves. Some people love these things. But unlike rosemary, they have an analgesic effect. They do numb. So, like if you take cloves and you grind them up, you soak them in water and you drink it, it will numb your throat. So that's why I add that, because of course, when you have the flu or a cold, anything like that, you are going to have a sore throat, which I have right now. And this is my old standby. Of course, something about, if you do the research on bay leaves, you'll realize it was used to ward off, oh God, now my brain went blank. When they had the plague, these particular, there was a comedian that had a really good joke about it, but it doesn't come to mind right now. But bay leaves are, if you ever go into an antique store, you will smell this because they pump it into the air because it makes you think of antiques and it makes you want to buy stuff. It's a very, very good smell. I love this stuff. Matter of fact, if they made a cologne out of bay leaves, I probably would smother it all over my body. And you can laugh if you want to. That's okay, because I still love the smell of bay leaves. Linden leaves, there's something in it. There's a type of sugar in it that combines with it's like synergistic. Rosemary is supposed to help with the pain. Star anise is absolutely an antiviral. It's an extremely strong one too. So this is your main component. You want 4 to 6 of these. You want about maybe a teaspoon of cloves. You don't need much of these, and there's not many in there. So maybe just a teaspoon. I think about a teaspoon is what it is. And I put about 4 bay leaves in with it. And of course, only about a tablespoon of rosemary, and a tablespoon of linden leaves. So, and then say 6 stars of star anise. You grind it all together. And then you probably want to buy a coffee grinder that you don't use for coffee. Because if you have a coffee drinker in the house, they will kill you. They will absolutely scream at why does their coffee taste like licorice. And yeah, so you want to keep your grinder separate for your apothecary. And you take that. If you take 6 of these, tablespoon, 4 leaves, and a teaspoon of cloves, and just take your tea bag and make sure your water is boiling. It has to be boiling. There's a specific reason for that, because the chemicals won't leach out. Then you make your tea bags, and you just, you drop it in there, and you let it set for like, after the water is boiling, you let it set for about 10 minutes, right? Because you don't want to drink it while it's boiling, of course, because it kind of sucks to have the skin peeling off the back of your throat. And the screaming, of course, is always irritating. And that will help you. This will shorten your flu-like symptoms to maybe a day or 2 at most. If it's really bad, like if your immune system hasn't been shocked in a while, it may even go out to 3 days, but this is my easy recipe for getting by when you have people that are germ magnets in your life, which I think most of us have those people in our life. They seem to contract every single type of germ that is socially available. And that is it. Just remember, get yourself a grinder that's separate, because the lovely flavors that you grind up will stay in there. But it doesn't matter when you're making a tea if you get it. But if you make coffee, your coffee drinkers they'll get out the torches and pitchforks, because they'll wonder why their coffee smells like licorice. And so there you go.